goes. Let's see how well this goes. We don't know. We don't know. Big mistake. Thor: Love and Thunder has just hit theaters and we need to talk about it. I'm Keith from the Bluff Council and this is a Hot Rev. This is a solid film from a filmmaking standpoint. Taika Waititi clearly knows how to make a film, and it's on display here. Film has taken a little bit of heat on the internet. It's only got 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. I disagree, should be a little bit higher than that. Honestly, I think this film is the most well-made film of all Marvel's Phase 4 movies. That's a low bar, but still, #1, congratulations. And I think it only ranks second in terms of overall entertainment value, just coming behind Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'll give you my final score on the overall film at the end of this video, so stick around for that. For now, let's start with the pros, because we're here to celebrate film. What does this film do best? I'll tell you. It's cinematography. Far and away, the most interesting visuals come from the shadow realm. It is a place that is so menacing, it is void of all color. It's got a real dark graphic novel kind of feel to it, real Sin City vibe, and I think it's just awesome. The whole feel and tone of that location is a little bit darker, it's grittier, it's a little more grounded, and I love that. My only problem is I wish there was more of it. We're only there for a short period of time, but still acts as a really nice contrast to the bright, loud colors in all the other scenes. Overall, the cinematography is outstanding throughout, provides a nice, rich aesthetic, really pleasing visuals throughout the whole film. Another pro I want to mention is Christian Bale. His performance of Gore the God Butcher, I think, is outstanding. Honestly, I think it's too good for the material that he was given. And I don't blame Taika for that. I blame Marvel. But that's a whole... I was very happy to see in the beginning of the film, they started with Gore's backstory. You get to know him a little bit, because that's really important to developing your antagonist of the film. Because if I don't know him, I know nothing about him or her, then I can't invest. I have other examples that I could talk about, but we're gonna fuck it. I think what he did with a character that really isn't that deep, there's really not that much to him, I think his performance of it really made you feel like there was some meat behind it. There was a little bit more depth, and I think that is really hard to do when it's not on the page. So again, I don't mean to be critical on the pro side of things, but I really want to highlight, I think his talent shows here, because I don't think there's that much to this character. But there's only so much you can do with these Marvel movies in 2 hours. And that actually provides a nice little segue, hashtag Segue Kings, to what I think is the worst part of this film, and that is the exposition dumps that are littered throughout. There's plenty of times where you just need to be brought up to speed and they just dump it on your face with voiceover. And it's the worst part of film, is when you just tell someone what's happening. But I understand the position that Taika is in. He is in that position because of how much information Marvel has to get across for people to care about this specific film, and so many gaps that have to get filled in. It's almost unfair to a filmmaker, and I give Taika so much credit in this situation for caring enough to try and fill in those blanks. That is honestly the most off-putting part of this film for me. It's just those exposition dumps. I guess the other thing I want to say is the tone. It's a little uneven even for Taika. I think his strength as a filmmaker is sweet and sincere at the same time. You laugh and you cry, and those are films I generally love. I love that style. I think it's possible to do, but it's very, very difficult to do. I think the film ends really nicely, has a nice message. It's heartfelt, it's sweet. And it's also fun. So I don't think I have too many bad things to say about this film. I think if you like comic books, you're gonna love it. And if you like action adventure, that's what this movie really is. It's just a fun action adventure movie. Got some good performances. It checks all the boxes from a film standpoint. And you can just really turn your brain off, is a term I don't love to use, but still, that's kind of what this is. Just enjoy it for what it is and move on. It's forgettable in that way, and I don't mean it as an insult. I mean it just, you'll watch it, you'll enjoy it, and you'll want to see the next version of whatever comes next from Marvel. So if you like action and you love Marvel, I can't see why you wouldn't like this film. Finally, Ev has not seen this movie, so what we're going to do is go and do a full live breakdown of this film whenever he starts to give a shit about the channel, which maybe could take a little bit, but let's get in those comments and bully him. Let's bully him and peer pressure him into seeing this movie quickly, so we can do a live episode, so we can all talk about this and really get into some spoilers, get into what the end of the film, which is always something that I love to talk about. Where is the MCU now? Is it dead? These are things we need answered, and we need to answer it live. So let's do that. Get in the comments. and bully him, as I said before. Okay, maybe don't do that. That's probably a bad idea. Here are my final thoughts on the film. I give it 3.5 chilies. Ooh, spicy. That's out of 5. And definitely Ev will hate this, but there's nothing you can do about it. He's not here right now, so sorry. If you like this kind of content, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel or to TikTok. That's where we'll be doing our live content. Follow us on TikTok for this episode and other content for movies and garbage takes that you all hate us for anyway, and I cry myself to sleep. You know what? We can't take it over. I just have to leave that in there now. You guys know you're very hurtful sometimes. I love you anyway.